I'm talking El Nino again tonight. I talked about it last night, and I give you the El Nino forecast. But I do want you to take a look. It's kind of a quick little summary before I talk about what it's going to do to hurricane season this year. So we do expect an El Nino to emerge this summer. Right now, we're in a very, 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 very weak La Nina, trending here this month into an ENSO neutral phase. But by this summer, I do expect El Nino to emerge, and that will last through the winter. And it looks more and more likely that by this fall, we will have a strong El Nino, or as the kids like to say, a super El Nino. That would happen by this fall, or most likely by the early winter. Okay, so just a couple data points for you there. One other data point, there's no notable correlation between El Nino and rain or temperatures in the summer. But for North Texas, an El Nino does favor cooler and wetter winter. Okay, so an El Nino really doesn't do a whole lot for us in the summertime here in Texas, with one exception. I'll talk about that in a moment. But it's mainly a winter impact for us. More often than not every single time, but more often than not, it's cooler and wetter as we head through the winter. But what about the tropics? What does an El Nino do for us during hurricane season? Well, when El Nino is on the way, the waters here, all this red, these waters in the equatorial Pacific, they really begin to warm up. And as those waters begin to warm up, hurricane season can cause the winds to shear over the Atlantic, okay? So in the Atlantic basin, which does include the Gulf of Mexico, the Caribbean, and of course the Atlantic Ocean itself. And when that wind shear takes place, all it's doing is it's just moving at different speeds and a different direction. And what takes place, the wind will literally blow these tropical systems apart. There's also a lot of dry air that can be found over the tropical Atlantic during the hurricane season as well. But the wind shear, without a doubt, can rip these storms apart, and that will really limit tropical development. So right now, it looks like we very well could have. That doesn't mean a tropical system wouldn't hit the state of Texas. It just means that we will have fewer tropical systems. And right now it looks like if we do have an El Nino that really starts to get rolling during the summer months, that could really limit tropical development as we head throughout hurricane season, which runs through the end of November.